And a lot of restaurants don't understand, like, what is the content I should be creating? What are people interested? What are the stories they want to know? And where do I start?
It's Mike Ungaro again. Welcome to Fish Factor. I'm the CEO, visionary, and business co-owner of the Kings of Fish TV series on Amazon Prime and the legendary San Pedro Fish Market. Under my leadership, we saw double-digit annual sales growth for over a decade and became the second most visited seaside attraction on the western seaboard, second only to SeaWorld. On this channel, you'll get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to run a multi-generational business that's been operating since 1956. The highs, the struggles, and the unique challenges of working with family. You'll see firsthand what it takes to keep a seafood empire thriving while also producing our TV series, Kings of Fish, which you can watch right here on YouTube and on Amazon Prime. Hello everyone, this is Mike Ungaro. It's our latest episode of Fish Factor, where we kind of go behind the scenes of what it's like to run one of the largest restaurants in the country, family owned and operated since 1956, and streaming on a bunch of different channels, including YouTube. That's why today, we're in Chicago, the Google offices with Lisa Landsman.
Hi.
What is your title again?
We just had this discussion because I made up my title.
Word global.
I'm kidding. No, I am head of industry engagement and SMB success.
Oh my God.
So I spend a lot of my time trying to help small businesses and restaurants be discovered and be successful on Google. So I spend a lot of my time trying to educate folks on the tools and features that they can use.
Oh,
to
that's
be
really
successful.
that is really cool. So
Yeah.
So we're looking at we're looking at locations, say Las Vegas, Phoenix, Northern California, maybe New York, Texas, Florida, over the next 10 years. Where would some of the tools that Google has and some of the things you're working on, where would that come into play as an offer of help?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So what my team focuses on is business profile, Google Business Profile, right?
Okay.
So how do you, when you're opening up in a new location, how do you tell the story of your business to people who have no idea who you are?
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about Google is we have billions of searches every single day, right? Trillions of searches every single year,
Awesome.
which is pretty incredible. And our goal is really to connect people with the businesses that meet their needs and vice versa, which is help you all as a restaurant find new customers, right? And tell the story that you have of your business, which, by the way, you have a pretty incredible story and history, which I was really impressed by. So thank you for sharing that with me earlier. So the types of things that you can do is take advantage of the tools and features to be able to tell that story, show what's going on at your business, show your photos, some of the basic information, right, too.
Right.
But, we've heard from businesses, sometimes it's hard to understand all of the things you can do at Google.
Right.
And so that's where I come in and try and help out. So we're trying to educate at scale for businesses.
That's great. I mean, we were talking offline about how we have our own TV show, and originally how we started, it was just 5-minute shorts, just designed specifically for social media.
Yeah.
And what we kept running into is we couldn't figure out exactly how to utilize YouTube for it. But it seems like you're coming out with all these new tools to help make it simpler and more effective.
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. YouTube is a great platform, and I think a lot of restaurants don't see that. I think you all and Sean have done a really great job of helping to evangelize the power of it. So, and a lot of restaurants don't understand, what is the content I should be creating? What are people interested? What are the stories
What do
they
they
want
care
to know?
about?
And where do I start? YouTube can be a very scary platform, right? You guys have done a
huge.
great job of creating content, but what I think people don't realize is there's a lot of people creating content about your business.
Right.
And so how do you find that? So we tell restaurants, go in and create a channel, right? The first thing you can do is go in and see what people are creating about you, and you can put together a playlist. So then if somebody goes to your channel, right, you have great content, but not everybody does. So that's a really great first place to start.
Yeah.
And now we have ways for people to actually click on your location and see more content.
That's awesome because we have an entire season of our television show Kings of Fish, which is on another platform. I don't know if I should say, rhymes with Schmamazon. And what's really hard about it is
Can I walk off set now?
we have absolutely no idea if anyone's seen it.
Yeah. Oh,
I have
really?
No data.
No data.
Since August. What is it, 7 months now?
Wow.
Does anyone even seen this show? No. But as we're working with you guys and looking at what we could do with YouTube, we're migrating it all over because I need to know if people are watching. I need to know what they care about. I need to know what are the storylines they're interested in, and is it going to compel them to actually visit and transact with us? Because otherwise I'm wasting my time.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's such a good point. I think the data for all of these things that you're doing is so critically important to understand the good, the bad, what should we change, how do we pivot,
Yeah.
what are people really leaning into, and how do we create more of that? So
Yeah,
good insight there.
because if people, I think we do some really cool stuff, but I don't know if anybody cares about it.
Right.
Right. Like we're wasting time, energy, and money on this, and I'm thinking storytelling is so pivotal. Like the way I hold it is, human beings are always trying to figure out what things mean,
Yeah.
and we do that with our stories.
Yep.
So I want the stories to be meaningful to the customers that we're like. I don't want to say that we're after, but we've got this customer base that we've like curated over 7 decades, right? And it's like, well, are we telling things they care about? What I would find is people didn't know anything about us and make up their own stories. So I know it's important to do it, but I also need to know, are you actually watching what we're doing?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So the more we can get feedback, the more powerful it is. So I wanted to ask you something too.
Sure.
At one point when we were talking about titles, you mentioned partnerships.
Yeah.
Is that still part of what you work on
Yeah,
globally?
so I sit within the global partnerships team, and for restaurants, essentially what that means, like if you go to Google and you search for a restaurant, you'll see all kinds of content. You'll see menus, you'll see food ordering, you'll see reservations. So you can actually, on Google, go and make a reservation at a restaurant. So our team is partnering with the Open Tables and the Resis and the Talks of the world, right? So we're working with different types of partners to create this really awesome search experience. So for you who might be looking for a place to go, you can join a wait list, you can place a food order, you can do all these things directly from Google. So our team, and there's a lot of partners we have that are giving us fresh menu content, right? Nice. We've talked about this so many times where there's seriously nothing more annoying than going onto Google, seeing a menu, getting really excited about that specific dessert. You go to that restaurant for that, and then they don't have it on the menu anymore, right? And so we talk about fresh, relevant content, right? And so we work with a lot of partners who can bring us that type of content at scale. So that's a lot of what our team does.
That's really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So like one of the things that I've kind of gone back and forth, our main location in the LA Harbor area, we draw in, it's a typical restaurant, you got 5 miles or less. Mm-hmm. Our draw is 100 miles or more. And so it's hard to think about it as a restaurant. We had to really start to change our languages. Really, we're more of a seafood experience, experiential seafood experience is how we call it. And what I've been trying to work through is how do you know who to target? Like how do you actually point and how do you figure that out when it's so dense? Like we used to get data from one of our credit card providers who would say, here's where your customers live, like dots on a map. Yeah. Super powerful stuff because I didn't know. But now I've been trying to think about some of the new tools that I've heard talked about and I've been reading about through Google now for restaurants is where do you see some of that playing in when you have such a big net to cast?
Yeah, it's a really good question, right? Some restaurants are like anybody with a mouth, right? So which is pretty much everyone. Yeah. It's a really good question. I think trying to understand, to your point, more about your customer, but I think the fact that you're sort of, I don't know if tourist attraction is the right word to use,
fair.
but
That's fair, yeah.
You are. And so I think there are people searching. We're an intent platform, right? People are coming to us with some kind of need, things to do in LA Harbor, places to eat, best seafood restaurants, right? Or they might know who you are because they saw you, they saw your content somewhere. And so the nice thing is it's up to you in terms of how to tell your story. There's really great targeting within the ads platform. I don't know if you're using it, but you can get very specific there and you get a lot of really great data back that will help you be smarter about it. And some of our platforms, we have what we call Performance Max, which is that ad unit. It's basically AI driven. So you can say, I want to drive foot traffic into my restaurant, or I want to drive online orders. And you set a goal, and we basically just automatically figure out what's going to drive against those goals and be most efficient. So it's a little bit of a set it and forget it, makes your life easier. But at the end of the day, we're driving toward your goal, whatever that might be.
Yeah, that's great. One of the things I noticed is, we have this main location and we opened a second one to test it. It was only 10 miles away.
Yeah.
And we had the hardest time because we've been there for so long and people are so programmed is we were not effective in letting them know that there was an alternative location because we can't really use Open Table because we have 2,000 seats, 3,000 seats. It's very hard to program that.
Yeah.
and where do you tell people to go and wait when you have so many seats? And we don't really have table service, right? People are actually picking out their own seafood and we're paging them when it's ready or we're running it to the table. So this other location actually had all that. We had Open Table, we had all of the typical restaurant stuff with the seafood experience, but we couldn't get people to know it was there until we got evicted. And then we just sent them there, right? But it was like, I don't want to have to use that as a way to send people there. And so as we're tracking, we're saying, okay, well, we have people that come from Phoenix and Las Vegas for the day.
Yeah.
They drive 5 hours, eat with us, go back home.
Wow.
5 hours. And also Northern California. So we just signed a lease to open a location on Monterey on their Fisherman's Wharf. And what I've been racking my mind with is I don't want to run into the same location we have with 10 miles. If we couldn't get them to go, no, there's a 10-mile thing, and 30% of customers are driving right by that location.
Yeah.
How am I going to let them know that we have a location that's 6 hours away? And I'm thinking like some of the tools you're talking about would be really helpful for that.
Really helpful. Again, just figuring out how to tell your story, right? You know, we just have this product that we just launched, right? So you can tell people what's happening at this location. So maybe you can use posts or, you know, we bring in your social media to say, hey, new location, this one takes reservations, whatever it might be. Like, how do you figure out all the different ways to communicate that? Video is another great way. You're on YouTube already. How do you tell that story everywhere you can? It's challenging, but I feel like you can do it.
So if I'm listening right, I think I heard also that you can now use some of these tools, your business profile page, and it'll actually sync up or pull images off your social media?
Correct.
Will it do video as well as
Yeah,
photos?
so I think video is coming.
Okay.
Yeah, although actually, I think there may be elements that you can do.
Kind of inevitable.
But I would say, right, yeah. I mean, we are trying to bring more video in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're much more visual forward than we used to be, and we'll continue to invest in that. But I would say for you, ads might be another great way to communicate that.
Cool.
You know, here we are, we're open, this is a different location, here's what we offer. Could be pretty powerful, and you can do all different types of formats, video, text, image, whatever works for you.
Okay, one last question.
Sure.
A little bit off topic, but I'm curious. So in global partnerships, what's the most unexpected or interesting partnership that you were involved with?
Oh, that's a great question. Me personally or our team?
Well, it could be your team, up to you.
Yeah, I mean, our team does all kinds of interesting things. Some of the platforms that we partner with for reservations and ordering, I think are super interesting. I think there's a lot of partners out there who are just looking to experiment and like, hey, we have this thing, would you guys be interested? And it was things that I can't totally share, but things that we had never thought about before. And so it's nice to have folks who are innovating and come to us with creative solutions.
Awesome. Sorry, put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. And there's a million of them. And as soon as I walk away, I'll be like,
you can text me.
Yeah, I'll text you and be like, can we just get back on real quick?
We'll just edit it right back in.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was it. I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me here today. And Lisa Landsman, Mike Ungaro, Fish Factor, wrapping it up.
Yeah. Wait, thanks for having me.
Oh.
We're interviewing each other.
I'm in your space, but yes, thanks for. It was great to have you on, and thank you for providing the space to do that.
Thank you so much, and I need to come try your restaurant.
Oh, I'll send you some seafood.
Okay. I mean, if you insist.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to The Fish Factor. I'm Mike Ungaro. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and you can also check out all the episodes of Kings of Fish right here. You can learn more about our restaurants by going to our website, sanpedrofish.com, or you can follow us on our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, etc., at San Pedro Fish, or the TV show at Kings of Fish.